Police Minister Sansom Mchunu has revealed that the DNA test conducted on a 7-year-old Kwekwe, a rape victim from Matatiele, did not detect any foreign DNA. Mchunu made the disclosure on Friday while updating the media on the ongoing investigation, emphasizing the case's sensitivity and the challenges involved, and said DNA is critical in cases of this nature. Right from the beginning, testing was done as per procedure, and the outcome showed no foreign DNA present in the victim. Despite this hurdle, Mchunu confirmed that 3 persons of interest have emerged, prompting further DNA analysis. To strengthen the investigation, National Police Commissioner Fanele Masimula deployed Major General Machege Likele and 2 colonels to assist with the case. The rape allegedly took place in October 2024 at the sports facilities of Bergville College. However, authorities have faced difficulties due to a lack of witness and forensic evidence. Mchunu further said that this is a complex case. There are no witnesses, and while DNA is a crucial tool, it has not yielded the expected results. Without the ability to compare samples, investigators have encountered significant challenges. Due to these complications, authorities initially declined to press charges, citing insufficient evidence. Reassuring the public, Mchunu urged calm, emphasizing that the law enforcement remains committed to resolving the case, and said this is no longer just about the victim or their family, nor is it just about Matatiele or the Eastern Cape. It is far bigger than that. We have reached a sensitive stage in the investigation, and while we cannot disclose all details, we are optimistic about making progress soon. The case has drawn national attention with extensive media coverage, prompting Eastern Cape Education MEC Fundilegade to deregister Bergville College. Authorities continue to appeal for any information that may assist in bringing justice for Kwekwe. Mchunu also stated that the state prosecutor has declined to prosecute suspects in the case involving Kwekwe, citing a lack of sufficient evidence. The minister said the matter had elements of complexity that were proving to be a challenge, and said one of the reasons for saying this is that the matter had first been handled by investigating officers stationed at the Matatiele police station, then transferred to a brigadier at the provincial office before being assigned to the current investigating officer, and said the docket could have been better prepared. We then realized that we needed to reinforce the team and have a dedicated officer on the matter. Mchunu said after the handling of docket by various officers, a critical aspect that has continued to present a serious challenge is that of DNA. He further said what has since become clear from all the information was the following. The investigation generally followed the correct processes with challenges present. He added that a thorough investigation is now fully underway, and said to the family and the community of Matatiele, please know that we stand with you. We will continue to support this investigation and ensure the rights of the child are fully protected. We will come down to Matatiele in the coming weeks to update the family on progress. Mchunu mentioned other cases across the country and said it is also worth noting that in the past week alone, 259 rape suspects were arrested. The majority of them, 95, were made in KwaZulu-Natal. We also welcomed the arrest of a 50-year-old male teacher on Monday afternoon for the alleged rape incident of a 13-year-old female learner in the Capricorn district of Limpopo, and said the teacher has appeared before Mankweng Magistrate Court and is facing a charge of rape. He also mentioned a 79-year-old man was arrested on Sunday at Cottondale Trust in Akonwook after allegations that he raped a 14-year-old girl, and said we understand the pain and anger that this incident has caused, not just for the family but for the entire nation. However, I must stress that due to the sensitive nature of this case, the legal processes involved, we cannot disclose further details at this stage. What I can promise on behalf of the Ministry of Police and SAPS is that we are committed to upholding the law and ensuring that justice is served. Meanwhile, the AfriForum's advocate, Gerrie Nel, who is representing the suspect, said that the child was likely raped at a party, not at Matatiele School. Nel, representing Bergville College Principal Jacob Peters, is to ensure he does not fall victim to an abuse of power or that of the social media detectives who make reckless allegations. In a scathing letter addressed to the Eastern Cape Police Commissioner, AfriForum's advocate Harry Nel said the police have asked for a DNA sample from the principal at whose school, Bergville College, a 7-year-old was raped because the complainant wanted one done and not because he was a suspect. Explaining his own investigation and analysis of the case to the Provincial Police Commissioner in a letter in a series of videos that were widely disseminated, the mother of the child claims that the child was raped at the school when she was asked to sweep a remote classroom. She then fell asleep after smelling something like tires burning and woke up badly injured in the school's classroom. But Nell said the timeline of the mother's narrative and the first signs of injury in the child does not correspond. This, he said, will mean that the police were looking for suspects in the wrong place. He also said that summonses for defamation will be issued against the ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula, Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, and Eastern Cape MEC for Education Fundile Gade, who all claimed that Pisas was a suspect in the case. Gade also claimed that Pisas will be arrested this week. Nell wrote, "The failure of the SAPS to properly investigate this case and provide meaningful feedback to the complainant has perpetuated an environment where false and defamatory allegations appear to have shifted the focus to the unjustified trial by media of individuals rather than establishing, analyzing, and collating the objective facts or evidence indicating what the offenses are, who are the suspects, and presenting such evidence to the National Prosecuting Authority expeditiously." It has now reached the point that senior public officials and politicians are broadcasting blatant misinformation. Nell pointing towards Mbalula, saying that they were shielding a suspect even though the police investigators have never officially named Peters as a suspect. Nell explained that the problem with Peters not providing a DNA sample for comparison was that the police have never followed procedure by identifying him formally as a suspect and then asking for a sample. In contrast, Nell pointed out he was asked to give one to justify to satisfy the complainant. Nell said the injuries of the child, as described by the mother, were such that she would have been unable to move and go to school for a whole day and go to the party before the mother found the extent of her injuries. The mother did say, however, that when she found the child, she was wearing blood-stained tracksuit pants and also that the child was likely drugged. Nell said the school's internal investigation contained statements from 3 female teachers and the caretaker who were present on the school premises at the time that the mother alleges the rape took place. So we accept that the investigation officer concluded that Peters had no contact with the child at all on the day. Not a single minute. He was not even in close proximity to the child's location. We must further accept that the victim failed to identify our client as the suspect. If he was identified as the suspect, the conduct or failure by the SAPS to act is inexcusable. The only reference is that the SAPS correctly excluded Peters as a suspect. This is further confirmed by the productive meeting Peters and the school's board chair had on 10 December 2024 with District Commissioner Major General Nompumelelo Majikelela, Colonel Mdluli from Maluti SAPS, Matatiela Station Commander Colonel Sitonga, as well as 2 members from the police's family violence, child protection, and S offences units, where his and the school's assistance in the investigation was discussed. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.